Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, let me start with today's presentation is about professional engineering practice beyond the regular design and work our estimate we do, and that's what we do on a regular basis. But I'm looking at the professional engineering practice that is something uh, personal, and also, what can we achieve in terms of professional and personal satisfaction. This presentation was done as part of I was invited to give a talk at the 2 day symposium at IIT Madras in India last month. And I revised that presentation to suit Worley, and also in a general holistic practice of engineering in general, not just the structural engineer. My background is structural engineering, but I work also in conjunction with all the other people in the field. So my agenda for today's presentation is I'll start with the safety, and we will touch upon the professionalism in terms of ethics and self-worth, and what makes us a good engineer, and then the business solution of engineering, because professional engineering, the expectation is that we solve business problems, not just engineering problems. And then I will be touching upon value by design, and discussing optimum value and sustainable solutions. And we will touch upon innovation, cutting edge research, and optimization in our practice. And finally, I will also be talking about deconstruction, or planning for the end of life of a project, or a facility which we design. So that's also equally important. So let's look at the safety and mindfulness. Mindfulness is basically being careful and cautious and conscious about our surroundings, and be watchful and vigilant, whether we are at the workplace, in a project site, or even in the design office. In the workplace, it is the practice of being consciously aware of what is going on around you, and can be an effective strategy against distractions. Basically, mindfulness is being in the place 100% in the job, in and fully aware of the surroundings. And when it comes to design, basically we are making sure that nothing can go wrong because of our design, or we try to minimize what can go wrong in our design. So in conceptually, we will look at the safety and mindfulness. The items above this line is basically safety by design. And safety by design is what we are trying to do is to prevent and eliminate and substitute any potential for any kind of failures. And then comes the control aspect, but then anything below this line is after the fact. It is after something happened, what needs to be done. So in every project design, we have to look at both aspects. One is the safety by design or safety in design. And then also, if something happens, what are to be done? And do we have enough facility to do that in that particular project site, which we are providing engineering service for? So it's very important to be cognizant about the surroundings, and also cognizant about what can go wrong in the system. So coming to the personal life of an engineer, when we think about the Maslow hierarchy of needs, it is basically talking about survival. That is the basis. Once the survival, the food and shelter are arranged, then we are looking at safety and sustainability. And after that, only then comes the belonging and love, and then goes on to the respect and esteem. And finally, the self-actualization. Self-actualization is assessing and also enjoying the life to the fullest. actually that is giving a meaning to our life. So most of the most of the time, our job as an engineer, it actually surrounds in the two category, the survival, food and shelter, and safety and sustainability. But with these two, we will not feel satisfied in terms of fulfillment of life. So because of that, we will have to go into the other aspects in order to make sure that we are living a full life. So it is slightly beyond our design and the work, our estimate. We have to be careful in getting our life together in terms of the self actualization as the final aim. So, how do we assess the self worth, our own worth? And we know that every activity is a self portrait of the person performing it. So it's very important that we autograph our work with excellence. And that's the only way to show that we have done the work. Just to put a signature on our own work. And that's how we establish your brand. And establishing a brand, it is not just for consumer products, it's also for your design and your work and your interaction with the people. It's equally important. So the extreme case is, think of the obituary column that would appear the day after you pass on. So how do you want that obituary column in the newspaper to appear? It is equally important as well. So take personal responsibility, pride, and accountability, and autograph your work with excellence. That's how you assess yourself and self-worth. So there is something called basic laws of human stupidity. And if you look at the action, we have four type of actions here. I have shown in the diagram, and the first quadrant basically is showing the effect of my action is positive for me and positive for others. And in the second quadrant, the effect on me is positive, but the effect on others is negative. And look at the third quadrant, it is effect on others is positive, but effect on me is negative. And this quarter, the fourth quarter quadrant is negative for me, negative for others as well. And that is, when you think about it, an intelligent person, they will act according to the intelligence that is positive effect on me and positive effect on others. And the second quadrant is positive effect on me, but negative on others. It is like a bandit, it's like a thief. You're stealing from others. Basically, its effect on me is there, it's good, but effect on others is bad. But look at this situation on the third quadrant. The effect on others is positive, but the effect on me is bad. And that is a helpless situation. Whereas, you did everything, but then effect on me is bad, but the others are getting the benefit of it. But this is the bad one, the really bad one, because effect on me is bad, effect on others is also bad. So this is the kind of activity we have to avoid. And in order to do that, we have to make sure that we work always above this tangent, above this diagonal. That means, you may be utilizing a little bit of effect here, and then you may be helpless in some case, and you are intelligent in most cases. So all our work should be in this realm, and that is the way to avoid stupidity, because there are some universal laws of stupidity. Because we all underestimate the number of such people around us, and that person's stupidity is independent of other things they have. The person may be a PhD or a CEO of a company, but that person is capable of doing stupid things. And stupid person causes losses to others while deriving loss for himself. And we underestimate the damaging power of stupid individuals. And dealing with the stupid people often can lead to costly mistake. And stupid person is the most dangerous, and sometimes it is more than even a bandit. So of course, I'm not talking about us, because we are all non-stupid people, very very intelligent people, of course. But do not use this principle to judge others. The purpose of discussing this is to assess ourselves. Are we bordering on the line of stupidity when we do our things? In professional and personal life, we can get opportunities to do things which can go into the realm of stupidity. You might have seen this in high school or even in primary school, how people do this, but then that is showing how they behave, not on us. So anyway, please do not use it for judging others. Now, let's look at our actions. We have basically four type of actions. One is what you are good at, what you are really good at doing, and what you want to do or what you love to do. That means, just because you are good at it doesn't mean that you love to do, but that is something which we have, and what you can get paid for. Certain actions you get paid for, and what the world needs. And if the world needs what we need, that's also another type of action. You can all think about different actions which are actually what are good, what you are good at, and what you love to do, and what you can get paid for, and what the world needs. And combination of these, all our actions will be a combination of these four independent actions. So look at this: what you love to do and what you are good at. That's the passion. Actually, you're passionate about something and you are good at what you do, and that is the passion, your passion. And what you love to do and the what world needs it, and that is your mission. And what you're good at and what you can get paid for, that is the profession. Our engineering profession is one of those. And what the world needs and what you can get paid for, that is basically selling things. And it's a vocation, basically making money. But think about combining these, because passion means basically what you're saying is I'm in the element, I was in the flow, and that's how I got things done. And mission is basically talking about this is my mission in life, that is to provide something for the world and then make the world a better place. And profession, of course, we know that we get paid for what we do, and we are very good in what we do as an engineer, and that is our profession. And what the world needs, that is a vocation when you can get paid for as well. So let us look at a combination of all these, because you cannot have just passion without a profession, without a mission, without a vocation. Because just because you are passionate, that doesn't mean that you get somebody to pay for it. So just passion is philanthropy. If you are rich, and if you want to do certain things passionately, that's great. We can do that. It's a philanthropy. And what you get paid for and what are in demand, it's like vending. It's just doing, buying and selling goods. And what you want to do and what are in demand, that's a non-profit. But somebody has to put the bill for it, right? Somebody has to pay for it, otherwise non-profit won't work. And services, what are you good at and what will get you paid for, and that is basically our engineering services and other services in the world. But if we are doing just the profession without the passion and mission, we may feel empty inside. So what can we do to improve this? That is where the concept of ikigai comes. It is that common area between passion, profession, mission, and vocation. That is the ikigai. The larger the ikigai, more fulfilled your life is. So that means you have a profession you are good at and you are passionate about it, and you have a mission and the world needs it, and it's a vocation as well. So it is an important thing for our life to find our own ikigai. That means basically, what are you getting up for? Are you passionate about it? Is it your profession? And is it a vocation? And are you satisfying your mission in life? So when I look at it in my own life, what I do is, in order to do or find my ikigai, for example, my passion and mission, I have published 14 books, and I'm working on three more. And not all on engineering, it is in philosophy, the Indian spirituality, and all those things. But I'm also a professional engineer with a lot of passion and vocation and a mission in life. I've been blessed with a number of awards in the engineering profession. And so I'm trying to find my ikigai, the purpose of my life, by combining my passion, mission, profession, and vocation. So this ikigai, it is, and everybody has to find their own ikigai, and finding it requires a deep and often lengthy search of self-discovery and reflection. And discovery of one's ikigai brings satisfaction and meaning to life. And it is the mental and spiritual circumstances with which you find meaning to life. So ikigai of this size, if you can increase the size to a better ikigai, you will be fulfilled much more in life. So, higher the coverage of your ikigai, higher will be your fulfillment in life. So, how do you find ikigai? So, in Indian concept of Triguna classification, people come with these three different orientation or traits in their life. One is called sattvic. It is ideas oriented. Certain people are more oriented towards ideas. And rajasic is basically activities oriented. Some people are very dynamic and they want to act in the world, and also provide services, and act in the world in such a way that it is good for the public in general. And tamasic is basically material oriented, and it can be non-dynamic and mass and stagnant. But everyone is an integrated self of these three. And this is a Sanskrit word called rhythm, and rhythm is the integrated self, which consists of sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic traits in life. And actually, if somebody is ideas oriented, if I'm teaching teaching a course, I'm predominantly sattvic. If I'm doing running around in this site, and then if I'm doing some work like that, I'm rajasic, and I'm working on material, and also I'm being I'm being lethargic. Sometimes it is tamasic. So a rhythm is the integrated self, and the aim is to achieve balance in the three, in the personal rhythm. So assess your rhythm to find your ikigai. What is your predominant trait? Is it sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic? So based on that, you will be able to find your own ikigai. So with this rhythm, you find your ikigai. Ikigai is basically find what you want to live for, and why do you want to get up in the morning. And this one is about a perfect ikigai. What is a perfect ikigai? Somebody who is doing work, it's a full of passion, full of mission, full of professional satisfaction, and it's a vocation. And sometimes I feel, people playing piano in a concert, it is the person's passion, and the world needs it, and it's a profession, and also the person can make money. And a full circle combining all that, it is probably, we can call it as a god consciousness. It's a perfect ikigai, and that is something which we can aspire to. So ikigai is not static, and you can change it with the time and place, and you can have more than one ikigai. And we have to find our own ikigai at definite intervals. Now, with that personal background, we come to 10 cardinal rules of being an engineer. And the engineer's profession, according to the North American system, these are the cardinal rules in North America, in Canada, and US. Of course, safety and public welfare is paramount, and professional responsibility, take responsibility for whatever we do. And we have to express opinions only based on knowledge and conviction, technical knowledge and conviction, because you cannot talk ill about other engineering work without having the full knowledge. And we have to avoid conflict of interest. And then we have to get compensated for the work we do, because it's a social contract that we have to, as a profession, we have to get compensated. Otherwise, it's not a profession, it's a charity work. And we have to have competence, and we have to update regularly, and we have to be fair and equitable. And we have to find what are the consequence and then tell the owners and public, if we go through certain engineering, these are the consequences you will have to face and you will have to work on. And report all breaches of ethics. If you find somebody is doing breach of ethics, you are supposed to, you have to report. And importantly, enhance the visibility of engineering. We have to publish, present, and reach out to other people, saying, what are the good things we are doing. Engineers are very, very shy in tooting their own horns, because you have to publish and present and reach out in order to show what you have been doing as a good engineer. So that's a very important thing as well. For example, I'm a registered professional engineer in several provinces in Canada, and also I'm a specialized engineer registered in the US. That means the moment I put a signature to the design or a drawing, I'm taking the full responsibility by following all the engineers regulations and law. So come to the client and engineer relationship. Professional engineering is actually, it's not just, we are not just providing engineering solution. We are providing a business solution for a purpose. And that is probably for a client, for the public. So it is a professional engineer's responsibility to solve that business problem which our client has. So it is a paradigm shift. As engineers, we are very good at doing things right. We are very good. We can do finite element analysis and all kinds of engineering solutions. But we have to question ourselves: are we doing the right things? Is that the right thing to do? So that is always should be there. That aspect should always be there in our work, because the growing trends in business, and that has been changing from 1950 to, let's say, 2030. In the beginning it was cost and time, that was the only thing. Then came the quality, then also came the pollution, environmental issues and everything. And then now in 20s and 30s you're looking at so many other things, like total life cycle cost, the carbon emissions, the biodiversity, circular economy, corporate social responsibility, sustainability, then using the natural resources in an optimum fashion, strategic decision making. So basically, knowing your client and also improving the value, that is an important thing which professional engineers have to do. So, but long time back, this used to be the specification, and I picked it up from 92 in our engineering magazine. You can see that the contractor shall complete entire scope of work in accordance with all current codes, amendments, bylaws, and all whims of the furrows. Guess what? Now the specifications run into several thousands of or hundreds of thousands of pages, but the client is expecting us to do this, come up with the magic and solve their business problems. And engineering is a way of doing that. So as I said, it is a business solution. That's what they're looking at. And in order to do that, let's go through this quotation from Mahatma Gandhi. It is the three-fourths of miseries and misunderstanding in the world will disappear if we step into the shoes of our adversaries and understand their viewpoint. Because if we know what our clients and the public needs, we can have much better productive life as a professional engineer. This is from one of my projects that I did in Vancouver. And in this one, you can see the people were, we conducted several open houses. And in this, you can see people were discussing, people were very much enthused about what was happening. In that project, I had several people doing Tai Chi exercise on that project site. And I had to find another place for them to do Tai Chi before starting the project. And when I started the project, I even constructed a viewing platform for the people. Even people on wheelchair could go there and then see how their dollars are being spent. And this was for the public project. And the user or the final user must be the king in terms of whom you are reporting to. Now, there is a distinction between partnership and partnering. Partnership base is basically a way of doing business between partners, and then they share the profit or loss, whatever. But partnering is a deliberate, structured process in which we maintain consensus between different parties, and then making sure that the multi stakeholders, different people with the different needs, their needs are all met, but with the purpose, the aim of the project or the work we are doing must be the same for all, but at the same time individual outcome could be different. For example, a contractor is doing a major work for me. The contractor's aim is to basically to make money and also improve or increase their reputation. But as an owner, my need is to bring it under budget and also on time. As a consulting engineer, my need is actually to make sure that my uh, reputation is maintained and also make enough money so that we can continue and we can be sustainable as engineers. So partnership is not partnering. Partnering is much more deeper than that. And these are some of the project charters which I developed, not just me, my team developed, in terms of different critical success factors and identified by the team. We identified several teams, and then we all signed into the project charter, saying that these are the things which we want to achieve from the project. These are from different projects. And then what we did was to monitor how we did in all these critical success factors. So all these project went on time and on budget because we had a partnering workshop, and we evaluated and followed it up in a monthly basis, and then we celebrated when we finished the project. So partnering life cycle in the project is very, very important. Now I'm actually going through the slides a little fast because I have a few slides to cover. Value by design. It is basically integrating value and also sustainability. And what is value? It is philosophical. When you think about value, it can be personal perspective, society's perspective, or professional perspective. And so it can be use value, exchange value, and all these listed values: strategic, religious, goodwill, feel good value also. So we have to try to enhance all these values by providing an engineering and business solution. Just look at these families riding two-wheelers in the streets of India. For them, how do we improve the value of transportation value? And that's when the Tata Motors came up with a car which is only $2,500. And this is a huge value improvement for them. Safety is improved, their comfort level is improved, but not for somebody who can afford a Jaguar or a Land Rover or a BMW, right? So it is basically what the customer wants, and are we improving their situation from current situation to the new situation? So that's how we enhance value. Another example, again from India, it is the best value is not about cost cutting. It's about innovation and creativity. And ISRO, the Indian Space Organization, they had a mission to Mars, actually, which cost only $74 million, which was 11% of the NASA's budget. And both programs provided exactly the same result. And the basically it was actually cost of doing this Mars mission was less than the cost of making the movie Gravity. So best value is not about cost cutting. It is about innovation and creativity. So value by design is by integrating our innovation and creativity with the sustainable ideas. And value enhancement pyramid is basically build more efficiently and build with a lower carbon footprint, and build less or build cleverly, and even building nothing is a solution. If you can provide a solution to the client saying that by not building anything, you can achieve the same final result, That is a great solution. And although as engineers we feel that if you don't build the, how are we going to get our money? No, it is a business solution, and we can get additional resources for that, because we are very good at doing things right. Now we are also looking at, are we doing the right things? So uh, complex situations are there, but then there is no point in just brooding over it. But the solutions can be achieved by innovation, due diligence, reliability, and accountability. And that is what is called value by design. Now, in in any kind of design like this, people are front and center. Then environment needs to be looked after. Then also we have to look after the resources, basically the economy, the money aspect as well. And then the people aspect, the partnership, the partnering, impact mitigation and communication is very important. And environment, that the recycling aspect, the environmental monitoring, protection, replanting, all that is important. And when it comes to resources, making the project or the engineering work optimal solution, that is very important, with the safety, life cycle cost, and state of the art. And by integrating these three, we are looking at a sustainable development. It is called triple bottom line balance. We have to have the people, environment, and resource. Sometimes people say people, planet, and profit. All these will have to be managed in an integral fashion. How do we look at it and say, have we been sustainable in our project or a product? And you can actually divide the aspects into various sectors like this, various sectors, and then we assess how did we do in our project. In one of my projects, this is how it looked like. It is something like a 63 to 65%. That means in my project was, the appraisal was, for the sustainable value aspect, I have 63, 65%. And I have never come across any project which is 100%. But we can always try to improve on our work at every stage of our project. How do we do it? By providing proper criteria for design. For example, this one, explain to the public how we did it, and how, the client, public or client, how we did the design. Enhance all these, the safety, reliability, and the flexibility, and all those, and optimize the cost, and also minimize the impact, social, environmental, and financial impact of the project. And now this is a project which I did a few years back, and that came up with $8 million direct savings. And we used state of the art technology, but we had to spend around $150,000 for value engineering study, that means a return of investment of about 50. And that aspect improved the value of the design to something like 83, 85%. And the the particular study was actually done in order to improve or enhance the value. And this is the project which won the Outstanding Achievement Award from the American Society of Value Engineers a few years back. So it is important to do the design, and also it is important to assess how we did it, and what percentage or how we did it. It's like a Venn diagram in which we can assess, and then we can put the percentage success in each of those. This is another project in which I was a study manager, and we had a clear savings of $62 million by going for better solution and more elegant solution. And that also required quite a bit of study and also quite a bit of homework in order to do that. You can see several options. We came up with the several options, and then the savings were there. And the original design was a normal structural engineers design, new pen stock, costing 200 million plus, with a significant environmental impact. But when I looked at it, I saw the potential, and then we did a large study, and then came up with the different solutions, and all of them better in terms of overall triple bottom line. The environmental, the people aspect, and also economical aspects were better, and a clear savings of dollar figure was also achieved. Now look at the innovative practice which we can do. It is about appropriate technology that is fit for purpose, and value enhancement, and responsibility, because sustainability is our responsible as a public entity. And we also have to toot our horn, because no one else will. If engineers don't come up with the opportunity to tell what we did and our success stories, no one else will do that. So engineers have a responsibility to the young engineers and also upcoming engineers to show that how we did it and what were the innovative ideas, and then success. And again, value enhancement, innovation period, which I had explained, and this can be even build nothing is a value enhancement. And for example, this is a report, a corporate report, in which you can see several value enhancement is there. One is reducing carbon footprint and saving the operating cost. Build nothing solution, because in this particular case the client was offered another way of achieving the same final result, and that is by not building something. And sustainability programs as well. So it is a good business, and we have to improve our visibility as engineers, and that is, yeah, an equally important thing. And this one is an innovation in construction methodology. I don't have enough time to go through the details of it, and this was lauded by many people. And this is an innovation in terms of material management, and this is by reducing a lot of carbon emissions by using concrete, which is with a high volume fly ash. And we had a very good result as well in that practical project, and we won the sustainability award from the Engineers Association of BC. And I'm not going into detail, but this is innovation in concrete technology by appropriately designing the concrete mix. And what did we do? We published the results in the ACI Concrete International, and this got a lot of hit with lots of people asking for details, how we did it and what we did it and all those. So it is equally important to publicize what we did, because no one else will do it for you. And this is another project where energy recovery is through geothermal heating. And this is durability of construction. These are two temples, one in Hawaii and the other one is Toronto. And life expectancy, guess what? 1,000 years. And the concrete can last that long, provided we do properly, and the durability of construction can be achieved as well. So at the same time, when we talk about all the cutting edge research and finite element analysis and 3D printing and all those things, the reality is that only 10 to 20% impact is there in here, but 80 to 90% impact is in the detail. The divine is in the detail. In this particular case, excellent modeling, Bob. Tell me, is the structural member under tension or compression? That kind of nitty gritty detail, that is an important thing as well. So aspiration and reality, we have to have a reality in mind. And coming to the last portion, demolition or deconstruction, because we have to plan end of life planning applied to engineering projects also, not just for people, even for engineering projects. We have to plan for end, and then see how efficiently we can demolish and recycle the material. This is an example in a bridge in Vancouver. This is an example which I was the project manager, where we did the demolition and recycling on site in order to make sure that it won't go into a landfill unnecessarily. So the demolition, it's a controlled demolition and making sure that the pollution is not affected. Again, coming back to my pyramid, value by design is by integrating value and sustainability. And professional engineering in basically personal and professional satisfaction is to be ensured in our professional practice. So sometimes it's more important to ask questions of why rather than how. So recapping my presentation here, we touched upon safety and professionalism, ethics, and self-worth. And we looked at engineering as a business solution, not just engineering alone. And we looked at value by design, optimizing the value. And we looked at innovative actions, and also we talked about deconstruction. And one more thing, professional engineer, actually, the person he or she generates, organizes, and deconstructs. Generator, organizer, and deconstructor, three in one. And that is actually very close to the Indian philosophy. The supreme being or infinite reality, and it has generator, that is Brahma the creator, organizer is Vishnu the sustainer, destroyer Shiva the recycler, and also we have 330 million devatas or gods partnering with them to run the whole world. Look what professional engineer generates, organizes, and deconstructs. Wow, we are in a serious profession. Let's do justice to our profession. Thank you.